welcome to our channel Content Guru. Today what we are going to discuss is how to create the compelling stories. Compelling stories are like, have you heard a story like, I'll just use a old story, agar Gabbar wali story yaad ho to, that kind of a story if we can create for our business, it can do wonders for us. So for that today, to create a story like Gabbar ki story, we have with us Kounal Gupta in our studio, and he's going to share with us tips to create a compelling stories. Over to you, Kounal.
So today in this video, we'll actually learn that facts only tell, but stories sell. So here we learn that how you can create those stories that sell, how you can create compelling stories. Guys, so in this video, we'll learn how to create compelling stories. And the information which I'm going to share you, who has actually done the research, who has proposed, it is by IBM Corporation. Yes, IBM Corporation has given their secret mantra, has given their secret recipe, how you can create compelling stories. There are 4 stages in it. Stage number 1 talks about the audience. Yes. You have to clearly define your audience persona. You have to clearly know who your target audience is. You should know your customer. But mind it, guys, it is not that simple or not that easy to define your target audience. You need to be you have to go into the very micro details. You have to be very specific. You have to go into the depth of it. So you have to know that person more than he knows himself. So that is when you can actually say that you know who your target audience is. So for example, let us imagine that an IT professional is your target audience. Let's take an example. So let's go deeper into his profile. We should understand that what is his age, for example. So that IT professional is your existing customer. So we should know what is his age, for example, which city he lives in, what are his food choices, for example, if you have that data. You have to know what car he drives. You have to know what is his income. You should know what is his experience. So all these things you should know. But that's not enough. You should also know who influences his decisions. Is it his boss who's influencing? Is it his colleagues? Is it his family members, his wife? So who are the influencers in decision making? So you should be aware of that as well. So that is when you actually get to know that who your target audience is. What is your audience persona? So stage 1 is audience persona, is the audience. Right. So second stage in creating a compelling story is that of a protagonist. Yes, to create a compelling story, you should know who your protagonist is. You have to create a protagonist. Who is the protagonist? In simple words, I'm not getting into the technical definition of it. I'm talking about the practical definition. And that means that you have to create one person in which your viewers, your readers can trust. They know that, okay, yeah, this person is right. So whatever he says, whatever he does is right. Whether he's jumping from one building to another, whether he's jumping from the top of the building to the ground floor, he still is surviving. Your customer has to trust him. So you have to create that kind of a personality, irrespective any ridiculous activity he's doing. Your viewers should trust that person. Your readers should trust that person. So create that personality. Create that Amitabh Bachchan. Create that Shah Rukh Khan. Create that Priyanka Chopra, whom people can trust. So yes. Second stage in creating a compelling story is to create a protagonist. Third stage in creating compelling stories is conflict. Yes, create a conflict in the entire story that engages emotions. Now, one very famous example which I would want to give you is that of Bahubali movie. So there was this person Katappa in Bahubali 1 who killed Bahubali. And that is something which most of the viewers could not digest. And because of which, Bahubali 2 was houseful, not only from the first day, but yes, it got bookings a week in advance only. Why? Because we were not convinced that yes, how can Katappa kill Bahubali? So that's the kind of reputation Bahubali 1 movie delivered for Katappa. And that is why you went to see the next movie. Similarly, when you're creating content, Make sure initially you create a protagonist and you make sure that protagonist does something which your people, which your viewers or readers are not able to trust upon. That is when they would click next, that is when they would view more, that is when they would want to follow you more. So the third stage is you create emotions that are contradicting. Yes. Fourth, the last stage is that you solve the mess, you solve the riddle which you have created. Again, Bahubali 2 is a perfect example of it. In that movie, the director, the writer, the producer gave a very, very good solution, gave a very good resolution to the noodle or to the mess he created in the first movie. That why Kattappa killed Bahubali. So that's the aspect of movie. I'm giving this example because this is something which everyone knows, which everyone, I'm sure most of the viewers of this video have seen. So you have to give a very justifying resolution. You have to give a solution that people trust, not a solution people cannot trust. So you have to make sure you carefully draft that resolution. Unless and until you carefully draft the resolution, your entire franchise of perhaps movies will fail. Now, for example, there's this sitcom of Game of Thrones. Why are we watching it again and again and again and again? I don't know which season is it. And even you talk about any such things, even this Game of Thrones is one. There's this House of Cards. Even there is also they also create a very contradicting emotions in between. But they make sure that they solve the riddle, and that solution has to be very convincing. So that is the key. Give a very convincing resolution. So now 3 skills which you and me need to develop here is that you should know that it is more important to show than to tell. Yes, it is very important to show than to tell. Second skill is that yes, you need to be very concrete. You need to be very clear with what you are saying, because you are targeting different audiences. And they all have different IQs, they all have different understanding, they all have their own perceptions, their own, you can say, background. So you have to be very clear, very compelling, very concrete, so that they understand what you are saying. And the third skill is you have to have that skill of being unexpected, skill of creating surprises. If you have these 3 skills, you will be able to implement these 4 stages practically, and yes, you will be able to achieve your objective of creating a story that is compelling.
Thank you so much, Kounal Gupta, for sharing such an interesting topic and such a great word on online platform, and sharing the content. Guys, don't go anywhere before you subscribe, like, and comment on our channel. See you again next week. Thank you so much.